my son was scrolling Instagram and I saw Hitler. And he liked it, he passed it.
As you were looking over his shoulder?
He didn't think anything was wrong with it because, and I can see why. It's a variation of a meme that's about time travelers killing Hitler. But this one, time traveler was tipping off Hitler about the invasion of Normandy. That's when I realized this is all propaganda.
Joanna Schroeder is a writer and mom to 2 young boys who she says were being exposed to far-right propaganda and hate speech on mainstream online platforms.
You know, it goes way back to when they first started playing video games online with people from around the world, because I would hear homophobic slurs or racial slurs.
So when you're playing video games, or if you're going on YouTube and looking up games, do you see, what kind of comments do you see?
Like people, some like just talk for like hours about how they hate black people, or like.
On a gaming?
Yeah. It's really strange.
Have you seen this?
No, but I know that happens because he'll tell me. And I don't know that parents realize that kind of thing's happening.
In August of 2019, Schroeder posted a Twitter thread urging parents of boys to monitor the content their sons were being exposed to online. Had you not intervened, do you worry that your sons could have begun to subscribe to alt-right beliefs?
I certainly do not think my kids would have ever become neo-Nazis or white supremacists, but I do believe that they would have participated in a system, online especially, that normalized hate like racism and homophobia unwittingly. They look for the most vulnerable among our boys, and then what they do is they tap into this very natural sort of anger that comes up within adolescence and the feeling of isolation that so many kids, even the healthiest, happiest kids, often experience. And they give them somebody to blame.
My parents, weren't really there. My mother was working all the time and I didn't have too many friends. I've never been to a movie theater with friends. I've never been to parties. I'm a basement-dwelling loser.
Having grown up in a place that is probably 99% Mexican, right, in this border town, you came to all of this. How?
In my room, thinking about it, using the internet, not interacting with the people out here in this town really, but kind of on my own. There's a misconception that everybody who goes to the alt-right kind of sites and everything is white. I myself am Mexican-American. I don't have a shred of whiteness or anything like that in me. I felt kind of rejected by society, rejected by my peers, and I also felt that I didn't really want to be around them. I would rather be in this world online.
When I look at their pathways, their kind of stories as to what got them into the movement, there's a common thread throughout. It's oftentimes human relationships that get people into these movements. It's easy to think, oh, right, maybe they just saw a piece of content and that convinced them. That's usually not what gets people into this. It's usually that they're seeking a community, they're seeking some sense of belonging, and these groups and movements provide them that, even online.
I'll just get us set up here.
It's one of the main reasons I talk about parasocial relationships so much. You start to realize just how much he really fooled you.
Caleb Kane is a 26-year-old vocal critic of far-right movements online. In March of 2019, he posted a video on YouTube called My Descent into the Alt-Right Pipeline, where he detailed how prominent content creators and YouTube's recommendation algorithm radicalized him over a 5-year period.
I was at a terrible point in my life, and I was actively looking for something or someone to fix that, and I just spent all my time on the internet. I felt like I was part of a larger community and a larger movement, because you had all these memes and you would see people posting things on the internet, you would see all the songs they'd make or the videos they'd make, and you really felt like you were part of something. I was watching all types of stuff in the realm of self-help and neuroscience and psychology, but it ended up recommending to me a video by Stefan Molyneux. As soon as I found Steph's videos, it just clicked with me, and I just poured through them.
If you've got illegal aliens roaming around the place, many of whom are lawful, peaceful, blah, 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 but
well, lawful outside, of course, being in the country legally, but
Stefan Molyneux is a Canadian YouTuber known for promoting scientific racism. His YouTube channel currently has 925,000 subscribers.
Started out pretty innocuous with Steph, so I had this idea in my head that I could rewire my brain and fix myself. So that's what motivated me so much to look into these videos. And then that started turning into other more political content or content on social commentary.
From him or from the recommendations?
So from Steph. So Steph was an ardent libertarian, anarcho-capitalist. So I started watching a lot of his stuff, and then from there it just turned into more and more content. He would interview people, and then also, and I'd go watch their content, and then also the recommendation algorithm would recommend content that was similar. And it always seemed to like take me deeper. So I went from being a libertarian to being a conservative, and then I was like at the very end drifting into white nationalism, which was strange because I was always like a liberal progressive growing up. You know, I watched Jon Stewart and Michael Moore documentaries, and he painted this picture to me that the left was destroying the world. But when you go online, you're getting your perspective fed back to you over and over and over again. And if you don't look outside of that bubble, then it's going to start to shape the way you see everything.
the American government has done so
We
much
reached
terrible
out to
things.
Stefan Molyneux but never heard back, so we began reaching out to other prominent far-right YouTubers and set off a bit of a firestorm. The YouTubers began to tweet out our interview requests to their followers and were then bombarded by a lot of their followers urging them not to talk to us. After my producer's email was posted, he began receiving a number of emails from the YouTuber supporters.
CBS News Originals. Whoa. You have to treat journalists like okay? You have to.